Good afternoon. My name is Mike Koomey. I'm a professor here in the Department of Biosciences, and I have two goals today. One is to introduce you to the Norwegian PhD school in infection biology and antimicrobials that was established last year, funded by the Research Council of Norway. And then two, to tell you about a course, Symposium, which we're going to have 2 weeks from today, that I think, based on your attendance here, might be of interest to you. So first, I just want to remind you what these PhD schools are, forskerskole, which are really they're designed to supplement, not replace, existing doctoral programs. And they really the goals are to provide broader access to courses and to generate networks, contacts between the broader scientific communities. And I think one of the problems that's inherent in the system that we have in Norway is environments tend to be fairly fragmented, both geographically and otherwise. It's possible to apply to the Research Council to get a research school, a forskerskole, on particular topics. And our topic is infection biology. And this may seem like a funny term. People tend to think of infectious disease, but in fact, infection is not equivalent to disease. And when you think about symbiosis, that's obvious. What is infection biology? It's this interdisciplinary field within the life sciences that combines microbial biology, immunology, informatics, epidemiology, molecular biology, biophysics, and cell biology, chemistry, and so on. We basically use all the scientific disciplines that are available to study the processes of infection biology. And really the goal is to gain knowledge as a way to prevent and control disease, but also to promote health. The main aims are to provide the research-based training and education to enable PhD students to become competitive, productive, and creative researchers able to address the needs of the Norwegian community, and to establish a vibrant national network in infection biology that will foster career development, international exchange, and cooperation. And up until now, there has been no venue or forum for this type of activity in Norway. So what do? We support a large number of courses. We have lecture courses on topics of general relevance. We have advanced training courses. We have workshops. And we have annual meetings and student-organized research retreats and networking. We are open to topics, and so we rely on members of the community to come to us and say, oh, I have a project or a topic that's related to infection biology or antimicrobials. Would it be possible to hold a course? We'd like to bring in speakers, lecturers, etc. We also provide funds for that, not only for the lecturers, but also for travel and accommodations for the students. We also support international and national research internships. So if students, PhD students, want to go work in another lab, either outside of Norway or in Norway, we have funds to cover both travel and accommodations for those projects. And we also support attending international courses, such as those run by EMBO, European Molecular Biology Organization, or Wellcome Trust, or Sanger, etc. So we think we are a valuable resource to help promote this discipline and encourage students to take advantage of these resources. I should also note that we also have a joint exchange agreement with the equivalent program in Sweden, which has been running for 4 or 5 years now, this Swedish National Doctoral Program in Infection Antibiotics. And that alliance makes it possible for Norwegian students to attend any of the courses or workshops run by the Swedish program. The Swedes will pay for travel and accommodations, and likewise, Swedish students have access to come to Norway to take courses that are held here. And again, we will provide the finances for those visits. And this is just a little bit about the NDPIA. So I'm really interested in infection biology. I spent 35 years of my life working on that. But up until 15, 20 years ago, I was always interested in studying disease. How to prevent disease, how to control disease. Why do some microbes cause disease, why others don't? Why are some pathogenic and some symbiotic? And after 35 years, I started, or at least 20 years, I started to realize that the vast majority of interactions between microbes and host is either commensal, just has no consequence, or mutualistic or beneficial. So in fact, disease is the exception. Over 99% of the interaction between microbes, viruses, and parasites and animal, insect, and mammalian hosts are non-pathogenic. So it's exceptional that we're focusing on this. Next week, in 2 weeks, we have this symposium on microbial symbiosis. The objectives are to understand microbial host symbiotic interactions at the molecular ecological level, to encourage students to critically analyze state-of-the-art literature, to understand the crucial role of microbial symbiosis as a driving element in evolution, which you've all heard about today, and to recognize the commonalities and differences defining symbiotic and pathogenic microbial interactions. Because in fact, one of the things that symbionts have to do or deal with is the immune system of their hosts, whether it's a plant or an insect or humans. So they have to deal with the same thing. And the other thing, the hosts have to decide, how do I discriminate between a symbiotic microbe and a pathogenic microbe? How do I know when to attack? How do I know when to foster? So I just want to highlight some of the speakers. So this will be held on the 14th through the 17th. It'll be held in B-Kuben. And on Tuesday afternoon, we have Monica Bright from the University of Vienna, who will be talking about the chemosynthetic endosymbionts of these animals here. Tube worms. These are fantastic animals that weren't discovered until the deep sea voyages. And so these organisms these animals live in this extreme environment by virtue of the fact that they have bacteria who are able to grow on methane, hydrogen, sulfur compounds, and generate fixed carbon that then the tube worm uses as its food source. And these are really fascinating animals. They have no mouth, they have no anus, and they have no nervous system. And so Monica is an expert on this, and really it's going to be very exciting. And then on Wednesday, we have a whole day on gut microbiota, and our featured speaker there is Anna Salonen from the University of Helsinki, where she's in the William DeVos lab, and she'll be talking about the role that the gut microbiota plays in health in humans. And just quickly, Martin Kaltenpoth will be talking about insects that carry bacteria that protect them. So these are fungus farming ants. And in order for them to farm fungus, they have to protect their fungus gardens from being attacked by other microbes. So they carry these organisms, which is streptomyces, that produce antibiotics that enable them to protect their nest. And he's an expert on that. And then Katrina Markham will be talking about the symbiosis that goes on between plants and fungi and bacteria, which we heard about earlier. And it will be talking about the molecular mechanisms by which fungi and bacteria communicate to plants, and plants communicate back to the symbionts to promote these productive interactions. So I'll finish by saying thank you to Kirsten and the other for giving me this opportunity. If you're interested, we have a sign-up sheet at EBA School. If you'd like to attend, you're welcome to drop in on any of the lectures, but if you want to attend all of them and get a lunch, we ask you to sign up. And with that, I'll say, be symbiotic. Thank you.